Well, everyone, welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the running of the Brickyard 400. It gives us great pleasure being a gentleman back who's already made history here. 1994, had a great second-place run and was the Rookie of the Year. And I have to tell you, the next year in our office pool, I drew a number and I said, you just might as well give me the money. And the number I pulled was Jacques Villeneuve, who won the 1995 Indianapolis 500. Subsequently was the Formula One World Champion. When you think about the history here, when you're joined with names like Graham Hill, Jim Clark, Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, that's a rather exclusive list. Jacques, welcome back. It's good to see you, and you got an exciting announcement.
Are you talking about the race here on
Yes.
Sunday? Yeah, of course, that's why I'm here. It's great to be back on the oval, actually, because we came back here a few times with the F1, but it wasn't the oval track, and it's great. It was 15 years ago with the Indy 500, and it's an amazing memory. And it's a race that then helped me with the rest of my career. So it was a very important race. And to come back here on the oval for the Brickyard 400 is amazing. Most of the racing I've done in NASCAR over the last couple of years has been road courses, and what I was really wanting to do was the oval. So to come back and to be on one of the major tracks is very special.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Jacques, the obvious question, so long since you were totally on the oval here and such a different type of car, can you translate any of the knowledge you have of the oval to this kind of racing on this track, or is it all just out the window and you start over?
Well, the pure driving will be very different than in an Indy car, because the whole lap, in qualifying anyway, was flat out with just a little lift in the race, where in the NASCAR you have to brake. So it will drive very differently. But the banking is not that strong, so it should drive a little bit like a high-speed road course in a way. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. And if we get going and the car is well balanced from the start, then we should be all right. There's not much time to fix the setup if we're a little bit off, but we have 2 hours to work on it. So I'm just exciting to get behind the wheel and to get those laps going. Just finish. The one thing though that can be helpful is the memory on how it's a long race and a lot happens on this track, and there's no point in going crazy. Early on in '95, within the first 30 laps, 2 laps were taken away from us because we got a penalty, and we had to catch back those 2 laps. So this is definitely a track where you have to bide your time.
Jacques, do you have any sense of how difficult it is to run here in a stock car? A lot of the stock car guys that run this race every year say this is a tough one to find the setup, and it's just kind of a tough race to drive. Do you have any sense of kind of what you've bitten off here?
Well, I can imagine it's a tough one. Because it's a low banking, and you actually have to brake quite a bit harder than on other tracks. So yes, I can imagine it's tough, and also because the setup must be different than most other tracks.
Jacques, Ed Hinton again with a follow-up. Try to put 2 questions together that kind of pertain to your career in general. One, have you ever regretted leaving Williams for big money after the '97 season? Have you ever regretted not staying around at the top level teams and moving among those top level teams? And also, there's a lot of people who still believe that you won the last truly great Indy 500. Do you think that way?
Well, concerning leaving Williams, there wasn't really an offer to stay at Williams anyway. Williams is not a team that keeps their world champions. That's always been like that. If you look at every champion they've had, normally they went somewhere else right after. So there was never any emphasis from the team for me to stay. There were other offers on the plate, and for similar monies. So going to or creating BAR wasn't a question of money, because the money was there in other teams. It was just a great challenge that didn't work out the way we had hoped for. The feeling at the time when IndyCar split was that's a little bit that's what was the feeling, that it was the last year where everybody was there together. But now that there's only one series, I'm sure it will start picking up again.
Jacques, when you moved into the stock cars, what was the hardest thing to adjust to that you found?
The lingo, just the way you set the car up, talking with the crew chief. You using inches instead of millimeters and that kind of stuff. So sometimes the conversations can be a little bit confusing because it's hard to understand what we're both talking about because we're using different words, different habits of working. But that just takes a little while to get up to speed with. We've been working. We've done Montreal twice together with the team, with Wintren as well, with my crew chief, and Elkhart Lake this year. And now it's quite easy to actually understand what we're saying to each other.
Bob Hawkers from Scene Daily. What are your plans for the future? I mean, what are you working on? What are you trying to get into?
Well, there's a lot going on, and until you have something finalized, you have to look at every opportunity that's out there. I really enjoy driving the NASCARs, and that's why I moved back to on this side of the ocean in 2006, was to concentrate on NASCAR, and it's taken a while to get going. And right now we got Elkhart Lake going. We're coming here to the Brickyard, so it's starting to open up a little bit, and it'd be great if we could carry on doing more ovals. Obviously, there's been a lot of talks about Formula One as well, and as long as this is an option, I have to keep it open. But it's really hard to tell you what the preference would be, because you have to wait until the real opportunity is there on the table. So until there's something full time that we can get going, I just can't. I can't really focus on one.